There's no doubt that Raffles is known for their hospitality. There's no doubt that this Raffles is spectacular. But the question remains, is it worth the money? We'll find out on this tour, so let's get into it. Welcome to Udaipur. If you'd like to know the exact rate that I paid for my stay, or my next 5 videos in queue, please check out the description below. And if you're new here, hi there and welcome to the channel. My name is Kevin. I think that the world needs a bit more honest travel content these days, so I make airline trip reports, high-end hotel reviews, and cruise ship tours as well, all without invitation. I always film without the company's knowledge and self-fund my trips to be sure I get a true experience. Then, I give you nothing more than my own personal, honest, unbiased opinion. I came to Rajasthan, the state that Udaipur is in, at a very specific time of year. A time of year that everyone in India knows about. What most of them would call, quote-unquote, the worst time to visit. What can I say? A good price is more important to me than daytime temperatures. Can I just say one thing as we begin this Rajasthan series? It's really not that bad. In May and June, it is hotter than hell, but it's dry enough to balance that out a bit. During my trip, the highest temperatures I had were about 114 degrees or 46 degrees Celsius. Admittedly, that was hot. But the 108 and below zone, which the vast majority of my time fell into, was actually refreshing? I don't know, maybe I'm weird. Anyway, welcome to the Landside Welcome Pavilion of the Raffles Udaipur. This property, which opened in 2021, is the first Raffles in South Asia, and it's built on its own self-contained island. So before we take our boat to the hotel itself, we have a bit of a pit stop here for a cold towel and refreshment. By no means did this define the service of the entire hotel, but the staff here, as opposed to on the island, were markedly less organized and all seemed to be a bit frazzled. Kinda like it was the first day that they were doing this. Nothing at all serious, but worth mentioning. You can't see it, but this is the very moment, for the first time in my life, that I've acquired an entourage. Someone is walking behind me holding an umbrella over my head. Someone is walking just to my 4 o'clock with an extra bottle of water. And my butler is just to my left-hand side. To say you're well taken care of from the moment that you arrive is a little bit of an understatement. The boats that the hotel uses are electric and zero emission, and besides the fact that they go around 2 miles an hour, are a great initiative. But I think the hotel needs to fully buy into it, or it seems less meaningful. Staff boat shuttles, granted they are on the other side of the property, but they're by conventional boat. And when I checked out, I was asked if I wanted an electric boat or a speedboat. And we're off at full speed. The crossing takes around 15 minutes, and your butler will be a full resource of local information throughout the crossing. Oh, and there's my next umbrella. First impressions when arriving on the island are quite spectacular. The ironic part is, due to the shape of the structure itself, what you can see is just a very small facade relative to the full hotel. The arrival here had me asking my butler one question multiple times. This is really new? Like, before this Raffles, before this specific hotel was here, there was nothing? As we made our way through the forward gardens towards the reception area, my butler gave me multiple resounding and prideful, "Yep, it's definitely all new." Which brings me to my first big point as we take a look at the gardens. In a world which sometimes these days seems like hotels are constantly lowering the bar, costs and services being cut, lower quality materials being used, it's invigorating to know that properties like this are still being built, are still being conceptualized. Regardless of your or my opinion of the architecture or style or anything like that, the simple fact that something of this scale was built for a major hotel brand, I think speaks volumes. The Raffles brand was taken over by Accor in 2016. Accor is the parent company of brands such as Sofitel, M Gallery, Fairmont, SLS, Pullman, and many others. The Raffles brand is quite easily, though, their crown jewel. The first and surely most famous Raffles opened in Singapore in 1887 and recently reopened after what looks to be an incredible renovation. The Raffles Singapore is on my own personal bucket list, predetermined to be a gift to myself for hitting a certain number of subscribers that I have in my mind in the future. Besides here and Singapore, there are 18 other Raffles around the globe, with a further 5 of them under development. One of those 5 you'll have a small peek at when I release my Fairmont Jaipur video, as they share the same property. One large level up, and we're in the primary lobby and reception space, with the check-in desks and such hidden away off to the sides. Though the check-in formalities for me took place directly in the room. Upon arriving here, a gaggle of staff will welcome you, and a cocktail will be freshly prepared. Whenever you're ready, your butler will take you off to your room. The space here is stunning and beautiful and very well curated. But it does also paint another picture, which brings me to my second big point. Electricity. You'll likely notice there are no lights on. This is on purpose during the daytime, simply to lessen the strain on the system. In the 24 hours or so that I was here, the resort lost power, I'd have to guess, around 30 or 40 times. Each and every time, it was only for a matter of seconds, and only one time did it actually impact the Wi-Fi. The power would cut, you'd count to 3 or 4, and the rumble of the generators, I suppose, would begin as the power came back. Is the heat likely part of the power strain? Yes. Is the infrastructure perhaps not ideal? Yes. But especially for a brand new built property, they've got to get a long-term solution on this quickly. Let's not let that spoil the beautiful details in the lobby, though. Raffles hotels are said to be a, quote, destination for the curious, well-traveled connoisseur on a constant quest for peace, calm, and discovery, end quote. I think we can see that on full display here. The design meant to represent a meeting of India in the east and England in the west. So, you may be thinking, where is this palace? Called the Land of Great Warriors, Rajasthan is in the far northwest of India and literally translates to Land of Kings. So it's not surprising that the state is dotted with forts and palaces. Rajasthan's city of lakes, Udaipur, is in the south of the state, and Raffles is located to the east of the city, kind of equidistant between the city center and the airport, which is around a 30-minute drive away. The gardens we walked through already are around the red marker, so you can see what I meant about the front facade being just a very small taste of what was actually built. Everything on this island is Raffles. The hotel was designed by Clive Gray of Bangkok-based Randolph Gray Design. His vision was to utilize the island's natural topography to tell a story, a love story, between India and the West. The result is, quote, a grand English country estate meets Rajasthan's royal heritage, with additional elements of Islamic architecture, unquote. We're going to take a look at all of the venues that we're looking over now, but first, in this heat, I think we should head straight to the pool. By the way, let me note that some of these India videos are pretty lengthy. Not to worry, I'm definitely not going to be talking the entire time. Feel free to sit back and relax, or just put on your own soundtrack and follow along with the published subtitles. This is the primary pool area. The hotel has a spa pool, which you can see on the left, the large central pool, and then a smaller kids pool to the right. If you support the content that I've been putting out on the channel, or honest travel content in general, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with friends and family. Those are the easiest ways that you can tell YouTube that this video is worth your time. For anyone interested in supporting, my Patreon is also linked in the description below. Thanks for watching today. Woven into the design are said to be subtle influences from Rajput Mughal architecture. Decorative chartreuse, the structural canopies that you'll see, and stucco work are intertwined in many spaces, showcasing local Marwari elements like the wooden carved jali panels and the tikri artwork, the mosaic wall art, which is made up often of pieces of mirrored stone, seamlessly blending the cultures of distinct geographies. In addition to a comprehensive fitness center, the resort also has a seemingly random mix of other outdoor activities and sporting areas for kids and adults. Also included are a few tennis courts. I'll note lastly that there is also a pool bar which was not open during my stay. So, who is this new private island palace for? Surprisingly, I'd say quite an array of people. From families to couples celebrating an occasion, to those that have been to Udaipur before and are possibly looking for something new. It really is a great mix that is sure to please many. Alright, let's head to my room. I booked with Amex Fine Hotels and Resorts and was upgraded 2 levels when I checked in into this beautiful plunge pool room. Sumptuous is not a word that I often use in my reviews, but it is very fitting here. The room is relatively compact, but laid out very well and seems to contain all of the zones that you'd likely find in a larger junior suite. The welcome amenities are truly well done. If I could offer a suggestion, I think a small card explaining what each of those 7 suites would be helpful. The minibar is very well stocked with French press and espresso pot coffee on offer, along with a selection of premium loose leaf teas. Throughout the room, you'll notice that there are bottles of purified and sealed glass bottled water. Near the front of the room, we have a triple duty area with an open plan closet, vanity area, and then the bathroom itself. You've seen nearly this same identical shot in each of my hotel videos, but this is surely one of the more stunning detailed shots that I've taken. I was a bit disappointed with the soaps and such on offer though. They were just generic bulk container products. I was expecting something a bit more elevated and refined. On the other side, there's a clawfoot tub and then separate nooks for the toilet and rainfall shower. Then we have the incredible outdoor space. Especially if you're coming in one of the hotter months, I'd highly suggest one of the plunge pool rooms. For me, it's always about the details though, so here are 3 details in the room that I think could or should be improved. Number 3 is the closet. It's just very small and awkwardly laid out. It feels like it was an afterthought. Normally I don't travel with a large suitcase, but even here with just one larger bag, it feels like we're already full. Number 2 are the floors. As I said, sumptuous is the best word to describe the room, but these fake wood floors, well, I honestly don't know what they were thinking here. There are plenty of fake wood options out there that would certainly look much more premium than these cheap looking tiles. Number 1, at the bottom of the doors leading to go out to the pool is a gap, which overnight let in seamlessly hundreds of little tiny bugs. Now I'll be clear, I barely noticed this the next morning, since none of them came past the curtains which were closed, and likely they all offed themselves anyway when they realized how cold I kept the AC. As for my 3 favorite details in the room, number 3 has to be the vanity area and specifically the faucets. It's a detail very few will likely care about, but high-end fixtures that have that old school, weighty, mechanical feel are just so rare these days. So especially in a new property, they just feel elevated and special. Number 2, the bed itself, including the mattress, the linens, and the pillows. This is truly one of the better sleeps that I had on this trip. And number 1, housekeeping, and specifically their attention to detail. It was kind of unreal. Turns out, iPhone batteries die a lot quicker in this heat, so I had to pop back into my room during a time when I already said it was okay for turn down to take place. I almost felt bad because I felt like I was pulling back the curtain on a magic show. There were 5 housekeepers in the room, each of them addressed me by name. They tied up my wires, they put a case underneath my laptop, a bag for my toiletries. They even asked me what side of the bed I sleep on. It is truly one of the better housekeeping teams that I've ever encountered. I had a quick veggie burger for lunch, which was okay. Certainly didn't live up to the other food here, but I mean, it's a veggie burger, so I'm not sure what life-changing experience I was expecting. Beautifully presented though. As the sun begins to give us a bit of golden light, let's head around and take a look at some of the venues, starting with the Long Bar. On the way, let me talk about big point number 3, the service. The service here does, frankly, deserve its own video. Every moment on this island is curated for you. It is incredibly high-touch service, but they simply know what they're doing and they know how to read their guests. I found the balance that they settled on for me to be really refined. They clearly have a big old bag of tricks to work with, but sometimes knowing when to disappear is just as important as knowing when to be available. And here, all of the staff understood that well. This was likely best demonstrated when I had dinner at Sawai Kitchen, which we'll get into in a bit. Just off of the lobby, we had my favorite venue on property, and likely one of the more beautiful that I've had the pleasure of filming, the Writer's Bar. Let's not forget that it is actually a bar as well. I don't like cigars, I hate cigars actually, and I don't like brandy, but suddenly I kinda want both. Now, let's head down to the dining areas, which are one level below this. There are 4 restaurants. Calling them 4 separate restaurants might be a bit of a stretch because they all just flow into each other. Outside, we have the dining room, which is the primary dinner dining space, where you'll also be able to have nightly entertainment. Inside, we have 2 other spaces. In the room on the right is the Rasoi Cookery School, and just past it, where I had dinner, is Sawai Kitchen. Sawai Kitchen is their specialty Indian restaurant and is said to offer modern interpretations of menus from the royal households of Mewar, including careful recreation of lost recipes that have faded from the public eye. I had a tandoori prawn dish for starters and the Mewari kachar chicken for the main dish. Both were phenomenal. One other dish though that I ordered that was a total first for me though, a savory watermelon dish named Matera Hara Piyaz. It's balled watermelon cooked in a rich spring onion gravy. I know for most of you this sounds like the strangest combination ever, as it did for me as well, but this was one of the highlights of my entire trip. I'd also be remiss if I didn't comment on the service here as well. Again, very high touch, as in just putting a few bites of food on your plate at a time to keep it hot in the original serving dish. This frankly would usually annoy me to high heavens, but this was different. The staff here are incredibly knowledgeable about the cuisine of the region, and each dish came with an accompanying story or tidbit, which was delightfully not scripted. You could actually interact with the story. It wasn't just a, let me get this off my chest so you can finish your meal. You could tell they simply know what they're talking about. At one point, the executive chef and restaurant manager touched each table and all but insisted that I try some dessert. I got back to my room. The turndown was complete, and a first for me. My turndown treat, if you want to call it that, was actually a pair of real cufflinks. I do think that it's a bit ironic giving a pair of cufflinks to the flip-flop traveler, but as someone who loves branded hotel and airline stuff, this was certainly a hit. Okay, for breakfast, we have the Patisserie. On offer was a small but very nicely curated and presented buffet with a few hot dishes as well as a supplemental a la carte menu. The same server from the night prior was waiting on me this morning, and while I didn't ask, I did have the feeling that I could have asked for a Maine lobster omelette made with golden goose eggs, and it wouldn't have been a problem. I ordered a Sichuan dosa and the eggs Benedict, of course. Just one more spot to see before we wrap this up, the on-site spa. So, the Raffles Udaipur lived up to two things: the name that Raffles has built for itself, as well as the allure of the City of Lakes. I'm just honestly so happy that properties like this are still being planned and built. And in this case, I think it says a lot about the Raffles brand itself and their commitment to really providing the best. Clearly, the electricity cuts are something that needs to be dealt with. Perhaps it already has been. But you know the service must be pretty good when during dinner service, the power was cut at least 8 times, actually the most frequently of all of the hours that I was there. And you just really don't care, because you've got a storyteller on one side and a delicious meal on the other. To me, the Raffles Udaipur is defined by its attention to detail and its astute team who not only know how to provide wonderful experiences, but do so in a natural and approachable way. Kudos to all of them for this. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, and you're ready for lots more India content, please be sure to click that thumbs up button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my twice weekly videos. I'll see you next time from the Leela Palace, Udaipur. Oh, and thanks for watching until the end.